Captain Pepperoni, your communicator has got a message.
I will read the message.
As you look at it, you have a message from Colonel Hendricks that says, it's about to go down. We should talk.
It could be a trap.
I am going to forward this message to Amy and have it respond. I would do.
We are here to party.
Yeah.
You send that message off. You guys are in the pod. It's basically the pod, little room, and then small docking tube mounted to the side of the ship.
Did the commander respond?
No, there is no response. Amy, you get a message sent across your network that someone has backtracked and figured out it's you, which is pretty, is super difficult.
Gas.
It is a message that is surrender to the Institute and you'll have a chance to live.
Okay, I forward that to Captain Pepperoni and say, tell them how Drago responds. Are we here to party?
Yes, I am going to put, we are here to party. That's how I'm going to respond. But binary code.
Just so the message is longer.
So they know,
Any response?
No. Spency, you get a message. You get a message from Maria that says, I know shit got out of hand and I know you're not the same person you were, but there's still a chance to save you and your friends' lives. And I would be remiss if I didn't at least try. That's what it's.
I send her back the black heart emoji and I block her contact immediately after that. And then I would like to shut down so that my GPS can't be tracked. And then I look at Captain Pepperoni and I tell him to do the same thing. Captain says, I think we're all getting messages. I feel like we should turn off our data devices, at least to the point where no one can track us. They might be trying to do that through messages.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to do in your piece of moon floating with your ship off?
We can jump out of the solar system. We can wait for someone to come and kill us, or we can try and loot some more, but that's just going to get us more hot.
We should get the fuck out of here, first off, right? If we're all getting messages that
we should probably be the fuck out.
We should get in that fucking ship and just
out. Captain Pepperoni says we need to get out of here, and I'm like, all right, Amy, let's go. Come on, move those wheels.
Amy rolls over to Captain Pepperoni with the biggest puppy dog eyes you ever seen, and he asks, when is the party?
I feel like Amy doesn't know what a party really is. So I'm just gonna be like, this is the party.
And you see hope and joy as zips onto the ship. Party time.
So as Spencer, you step on the ship as Amy is chatting and you go to start your startup sequence, you look out the main viewport and there is a fleet of CD vessels. You guys are floating in this rock, and say where my face is relative to my hands is the asteroid field, and this whole space is filled with ships, like a dome of CD ships making a blockade, sitting quietly.
Captain, get that engine going. Amy, hold on to your treads. It's going to get bumpy.
All right, let's do some engineering. And that is going to be a 10. Just a full success.
The power switches on and everything, you hear the engine start to woo, and lights and everything start to switch on. And you look out at that fleet of ships, Spency, and they see your ship lighting up and they all begin to move in. Many ships that are the size of the Azule, and there are a few larger capital ships. Several of them are the long-range dreadnought-style vessel you guys saw before, and they know they hit harder, and even at this range, they can fire on you. So they begin to fire on the station and you guys' ship.
We'll scan the fleet. I'm going to spend a hold and figure out where the top generals are in a fleet in this formation, where would be the command structure.
You guys are also, the moment you start flipping on the computers, you are also being hailed by one of the vessels in the fleet at the same time.
Amy ignores it because we said no communication. So it's just blocking all incoming transmission.
So you spend your hold and scan the fleet, and the data suggests there's one ship that is kind of behind the dome of ships that is creating this blockade. So there's the dome of ships, and there's a few big ships in there with cannons, and there's one ship set back that is a carrier class ship that holds smaller ships like the fighters you guys had to deal with before. And your best guess is that whoever's leading this fleet is on that vessel. That is coincidentally also the vessel that is hailing.
But since Amy's on communications. We don't know that he's ignoring it or she's ignoring it. I don't know. But since Amy's ignoring it, we're not paying it. We don't know about it, right?
Incoming transmission. Transmission intercepted. What are your orders?
So you disconnect from the station. The moment you have your systems on, you hit that release on the airlock and thrust away as the giant bolts from the capital ships strike the station, blowing it into bits. And you guys are now free of it.
I would like to also be flying straight towards one of the larger dreadnought type ships, so that anytime I evade missile hits, they hit that ship instead.
You're trying to position yourself. So you start gunning it that direction. The shields come online and they're functioning normally. And then what are you going to do?
I'm going to kick this puppy into hyperdrive fast as I can get it to go.
You guys are about to take on a shitload of defy danger rolls, probably between piloting and shields right now. So.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what we should say to them. Should we talk to them as we're going away?
Standing by to party as we dodge that first.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Amy, see what they want.
I start open up communications between us and the hailing signal.
And come in, Wyvern vessel. This is Rear Admiral Sayin. Come in, Wyvern.
This is artificial mobile intelligence of the ship Wyvern. We are here to party.
Your party will end in destruction if you do not immediately surrender. Why don't you start making 4 defy danger rolls, Spency?
I look over at Captain Pepperoni. Do we surrender?
So I'm gonna look at Amy and be as serious as possible. If we surrender, then the party ends.
Gasp.
I got an 11, a 12, a 10, and a 9.
You're rolling as the first volley of the Drago Azule ship. They fire at you. You roll past most of them. One of them clips the shields. Roll a shields roll.
9?
A 9. So the shields go down a stage, but you guys don't take any damage, right? That's what happens on a mixed roll.
2.
2.
There's 2, right?
I send back to... Is it Colonel Hendricks that we're communicating with, or is it just somebody?
No, this is somebody who outranks Colonel Hendricks. This voice you do recognize. You heard them once at the end of the last time you spoke to Colonel Hendricks. You heard this voice speak in the background.
So I respond back to the CD. Prime directive is to party. You cannot stop party.
I love we have a party bot, dude.
This is coming off all of the intelligence that he's been picking up, just hanging out.
This is awesome.
That's all you've taught him how to say.
Is how to party, baby.
Roll 2 more defy dangers for me, Spency, as the larger capital ship you're hurtling towards fires its large cannons at. These are the ones that do more damage.
14, 8.
All right, roll 1 shields. And 10. All right, so the shields stay put. It deflects the attack, and you have to do that on your turn. You have to try to restore shit. And then you guys get a turn here as you're still hurtling toward. You're covering a lot of distance here, so you're still hurtling towards that bigger ship.
Can we try and fire on the ship? I want to try and hit the guns.
On the big ship?
The Azule can fire it. The Azule rolled a 5.
You line him up perfectly. You roll the ship over in a clear spot, and the Azule begins to fire. But another CD vessel that you didn't see comes out from behind the vessel you're firing on, and it has a direct hits directly to you as you line up for your shot. You lined up for their shot. So 2 hits to the shields.
9.
Okay, so they go down. So if the first one knocks out the thing, the second one hits the ship, even if it's the left.
Yeah.
1 stage down, and then you got a mixed result.
So the one right now where it was a mixed result would have taken
Turned it off.
Turn it off, so then the next one hits automatically.
So you guys take a point of damage for that. We're going to call it 8. So you guys are at 7 now on that. But Amy and Enzo can take a turn.
I want to spend a hold to use all the available knowledge about astral charts in the area and analyze the distance that the ship's guns ranges can go and find the best route to get out of firing distance for Spencer to use whenever he can, if he needs
like
it.
an evacuation plan, basically, an exit plan. Yeah. Okay, roll for that.
I'm going to try and get these shields back up.
14.
And I got 11.
Cool. So the shields restore. You have a plan to get to where you the least number of smaller ships can fire on you, and you can share that data with the helm. The big ships' range is so great that is hard to get out of. And the last ship sitting in the back of the fleet is a fighter carrier, and it's assumed that they have pursuit fighter. So even after you get out of range of the current ships, you know that you would not be in the clear. Spency, roll 4 defy dangers. And then you get a message. Amy, you get that message. We could still pull you all out of this, the Institute said.
So still forwarding to Pepperoni so he knows what's going on, but I just send back, you cannot stop party.
So what did you get?
2 10s, a 9, and an 8.
2 shield rolls for me. Enzo Pepperoni, 2 shield rolls.
Shields. It's a fail.
So the shields collapse and you take a point of damage, and then you take another point of damage. So you were at 7, 6, now we're at 5. So you got pretty rocked on that round. You are now in that position you were piloting to, but you are now going close into one of the large long gun ships.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to ride that for the amount of time it's going to take for them to fire at us per next turn, shoot out towards that distance to make it out.
Okay, towards Amy's plan.
Yeah, start taking that escape route. That's a 12.
You pitch in, you dive tight and close along the CD ship, and you can see there's hesitation for a moment. The other ships that would hit that ship don't fire, and then someone clearly gives them the order to keep firing, and they begin to fire on their own ship to try and hit you guys. Roll 4 more defy dangers.
14, 12, 10, and an 8.
The shields are still down, so you guys take another point of damage. You're at 4. And then what is Amy and Captain doing?
So the shields are down. Amy will roll over and help Captain Pepperoni, and I'll aid him with the shield.
Okay, roll your aid roll.
9.
You guys get hit by one of the cannons from one of the other capital ships, the ones that deal double damage. This round hits hard, like on the nose of the ship, and you are all thrown into the consoles around you. As you're piloting, you see chunks of your own ship whip over the canopy of the ship, and you are now at 2 ship HP.
Ship systems critical.
What do you guys want to do?
Let me ask you something about this dreadnought. Has it got places to dock?
Yes. I saw one of these dreadnoughts before. It had 2 fighters with it that were just sticking to the side of it. The ship is physically out in space, and just so there is like docking ports like that on the dreadnoughts. And then the carrier is big enough that you could physically go in the carrier.
Is the carrier where Amy saw that the head guys are at? I say we just storm the ship, dude. You know,
Crash landing.
our bodies are way stronger than this ship. Let's just go in there and start like.
I take a look back at Enzo. You thinking what I'm thinking? With the last little bit
Look at Amy, party
of
time.
I'm pumping the fuel out.
Hitting it as hard as you can. Make an engineering roll, Enzo, while he is trying to tax the engines. 7 at 30. You pound it, and you're able to get the power, and you guys accelerate harder than the ship has ever accelerated. But the temperature levels in the reactor start to spike as a result, which is dangerous in prolonged situation. Guys, we'll now have to roll for power like we were doing before. It's going to be a 1d4, and if you roll a 1, your system does not respond. Reactor's overheating and not giving it a. But you do jet away from this ship and start to roll out towards the capital ship at an astounding speed. There are several fighters that have launched in response to you pulling away from the larger ship that you have to pass through to get to this ship. Defy danger then. As you fly away from the larger ships, they're going to open fire as you move towards the command ship.
That's a 7, 12, a 10, and an 11.
You are turning and rolling as the ship is hauling ass, and they are firing full force at you, and you manage to dodge every single one. One round strikes the hull of the ship. The shields are still off, and more chunks fly off the aft portion of the ship. Warning lights are now blaring on your consoles about reactors overheating, about the whole breach imminent, all sorts of shit are buzzing, klaxons are going on. But you are now hurtling towards the command ship, and the incoming fighters are going to try to intercept you before you get there. What do you guys want to do?
Can we have his Azule fire on those bad boys?
I'm going to roll a 1d4. If it's a 1, his system does not respond. He got a 1. He goes to actuate the targeting system, and it is frozen, and it blinks on and off, and he cannot attack this one. What else do you guys want?
I want to try and fly so fast that I get right on them and then just stop the engine for a second to where I nosedive and then flip it right back up underneath them and go up and around. I don't know. I guess I would just push the thing down, like nosedive real hard right when I got there. Do a massive crazy maneuver.
We're going to spend an aim to try and dodge around the fighter. So they're still pursuing you, but they don't get any clear shot. The fighters don't get to attack. Amy and Enzo.
Gotta try again. Get these shields up. Amy, I am still gonna need some help because
Okay, the shields pop back on.
Now that the power is stabilized, I want to either shoot the guns myself or give Azule another opportunity.
You can kind of essentially hotwire your way around the systems. So I'll say you can try to roll the system and try to circumvent what fucked up on Azule and fire the guns. You still got to roll the 1d4 though, because he didn't repair the reactor. He repaired
the shield. 2.
You guys do pitch pass and kick up relative to the direction you were traveling. This clears. The fighters are scrambling to make tight turns to get back behind you to get you in range, but the long guns on the dreadnoughts have clear shots and they open volleys. So you guys are going to take another 2 points of damage. There are 2 points of damage, so they can knock out your shields really quickly. Why don't you make 4 to 5 dangers, but they're all piloting 4 to 5 dangers. And these shots all kind of crisscross in a ballet through space as you dodge the shots and spin the ship around and start to get close to the capital ship that you were approaching. What's your plan here?
I try to do a hack on our system so that their ship can like read us as them. Or we have the codes and stuff right from the other.
You have CD information, yeah. There's doors that open into slots that fighters are coming in, and you guys can fit in that space. So if you can get one of those to open for you, roll that beautiful beam footage.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
This ship shoots you on your way in. Whatever Spency's about to do is going to be at a -1 as your ship is disintegrating around you as you're being pelted with fire.
The last bit of ship we have, I'm driving it straight into the cockpit of that ship.
You see that he is failing to hack as you're getting peppered with fire, and you veer hard into the command bridge, which is towards the top of the ship. There is a large window that is an arc shape, like a semicircle, and it's many yards across. Like it's a big ass ship. It's got a big ass bridge. It's got some big ass windows, and you wedge your ship perfectly into the side of one of these ports in this window, where your kind of cockpit section where you're all sitting shoves inside the enemy ship as the rest of your ship shears off behind it, and you see the rush of atmosphere pull the other way and people go floating up and fly out the port. This ship immediately starts to burst into flame and stuff up here towards the cockpit where you hit. But you guys have survived. What do you want to do?
Are we just saying that Reggie's dead, or are we going to grab his body right now? I need to know who.
We've been trying to wake him up this whole time. He's just not.
Can I do something? It's because we're already using Azule. Like, and they've already kind of connected, you know? Can I just have him like control his legs and like Weekend at Bernie's him? Like Azule just goes over his whole body, but so he's not like really functioning perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yes. So you are able to possess the more solid form of your friend Reggie so that Azule can be more effective. And you're able to get him to grab the laser axe, and you see him. He does not swing it with the same coordination and precision as Reggie, but it is still imposing.
Does anyone else have a gun besides the one that Spency has?
I do have another gun.
Could we give that to Azule instead? Because only his aim is +2.
Right. Okay. You hand him Julian's old gun, and you all kind of look at that gun for a minute as it changes hands, recognizing that and remembering your face of your friend, and then countless form in that scientist's lab.
In that moment where my brain's starting to run, I go internal and go, "You ready to feed, buddy?"
You start psyching up the butcher. All right. What do you guys want to do?
We got a monster on our team.
Yeah.
Let's let the monster out. I'm assuming since this is like a military ship, that once we broke that window, people got sucked out and then everything got shut down.
The room you're in has been bulkheaded off. If you look towards where you can see the main passage that would have led up to this bridge, there is a heavy-duty door that is physically closed.
I'm grabbing and putting on spacesuit immediately.
You guys get suits on and oxygen tanks.
And then we're out the door.
Amy, you got anything cooking?
Amy rolls out and starts beeping like a bomb. Self-defense
But yeah, I
protocols
think we should
activate.
we don't know if did anyone survive or did everyone get sucked out?
Or they were killed by the impact. You doubt anyone is alive in that room out there. No oxygen in that room.
I'm gonna look for the nearest terminal or anything that I could fuck with to try to fucking get us out of here. At least one of the doors. Obviously, I don't want to open the fucking window that we just came out of or came in.
Well, that window's open, permanent.
All right, well then I'm just gonna see if I can find a way for us to get out. I'm gonna look at Amy and say, "Do your thing."
Because I'm imagining we have no gravity.
There's some gravity from artificial gravity from the floors around you, but it's not what it's supposed to be. It's like moon gravity.
Yeah, so I'm like bounding moon gravity style over towards the thing, and I dive for it. And I want to try and see if I can pull the bulkhead off.
You take your hands and you try to grab at the edges of where steel meets steel, and you were like a child pawing out a window.
I'm gonna discern reality to help Captain Pepperoni succeed. 10. I will scan the ship and search for the nearest escape shuttle or the hangar.
I want to send a beacon to all comms within the solar system.
Ask everyone to help us.
I call it and go, to anyone who hates the CD, we have half the fleet at least pinged here. Come here and let's give them all hell. And I go off the comm. I look at them and I'm like, let's get this door open and let's kill everyone inside. I'm ripping people limb from limb.
It's time to party.
So do you guys want me to kill everyone or do you guys want me to just open the door?
How about you try and cut off oxygen to the airlock specifically where the ships would be going out so no other ships can go out except for us when we get down there.
I think we should just open the door then. Later on, I'll find another console and we can do that.
All right, let's do it.
So I'm going to try to open the door, get us in there. I got 9.
Okay, so that door opens part way, and there's a rush of air in the next room, and then you hear bulkhead in that next room further down close as that next room gets evacuated of atmosphere. So this door is halfway open, and you could squeeze through it sideways, maybe.
Should we just get it all the way open and assess the next room? I'm pointing at the door, ready to fire at anything coming out.
No, I'll just try it again. So let's see what we get this second time. 10.
Full success. The door pops open, and you guys can see into the next room, and it's like a hallway that you've effectively turned into an airlock because you opened that door, and so all the other doors auto shut off in this hallway. And then, if you re-shut the door, this room's not damaged, it'll re-oxygenate itself and then eventually open those doors for you.
I'm going to roll the A cap on this next roll to get the doors closed once we get in there. That's 10.
Yeah, you get a +1, Enzo, as you're being supported.
Hand on the shoulder and go, I got you back, man.
Still a mixed result.
The door half closes. The door partway closes.
Yeah, I'll just do it again then.
Can I roll to see if I know which door people are more than likely to come out of since I've been on a CD ship before?
A wisdom.
7.
It's kind of obvious that one door is bigger than the others, that this leads to deeper into the ship. There might be people down by the smaller doors, but those are more likely like little side offices, or this is
I mean, the big door.
Big door.
Big door it is.
Yeah, what's Amy and Enzo?
I gotta try again. 12.
The door closes, and you hear the air starts to refill this room, and then you hear the bulkhead unlock. As it opens slowly into the next room, there is 12 fully suited, rifles aimed CD soldiers waiting on the other side of it. Commander Hendricks is there as well. And she says, "You fucked up for the last time, fellas. I could have given you an out. It wouldn't have been pretty, but you would have been at least treated honorably. And then you do something even fucking crazier. I don't know why I'm surprised."
We are here to party.
I'm going to shoot Hendrick. Go for the big honcho.
Not if I can kill her first.
But I have a new little cool thing called the Thunderclap. But if I get a 12, I hit everyone around her.
Why don't you both roll at the same time?
Can I throw a knife at Colonel Hendricks?
Yes. All 3 of you roll your Simo attack. It's not a roll off. It's
Reggie.
It's like a superhero team. Like you're all punching at the same time.
I just would like to spear her in the face.
You're trying to use your alien power to do it.
Yeah, just my alien arm to spear her in the face. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone roll an attack.
10.
12.
Everybody roll damage. 3 and 8.
13.
You have to close the distance. You see her, you drop your weapon and leap forward as your alien arm extends out and stabs into her, and she has this look of surprise as a knife bam, and catches her in the neck, and then an arc of energy bolts past your shoulder, Spencer, and strikes her, and you all see her go and then roast on your spear arm. And everyone needs to roll 5 dangers. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 defied dangers each.
I'm going to use my gravity boost thing to boost me around.
I got a 12, 10, a 9, and a 7.
And I passed 2 and I failed 2.
10, 10, 11, 12.
For the first failure, 8 damage. Your second fail has 7 damage.
Awesome.
How much HP do you have?
23, but now I have
a lot less. So you get blasted. Who had mixed results?
Me.
So you're going to take half damage. 4.
Yeah.
And then the next one I rolled a 6, so 3 is half damage. You leap forward, grabbed, stabbed her. She got knife, electrocuted. And then all these dudes with rifles all turn towards you guys and open fire. How did you defy danger on the ones that, what do the successes look like?
You just see Ami's totally tanking it, but a few make it through. It's brand new armor and, you know, it's amateur and handmade, so it gets through some of the new plating and gets underneath into the circuit.
The door that we're in front of right now, like the
main hallway door.
Main hallway door. But you said that there were other doors coming off. I'm just going to say that I just bounced myself into one of those rooms or one of those doorways. I use my gravity.
You bounce your way into that room, and there is someone like huddled in the corner of that room. They're clutching a pistol, and they're crouched and scared as you come bounding in the room. And they point it at you, but you can see them quivering as they point it in your direction.
Is the guy bigger than me? No?
He's small. He's a smaller person.
So I am just going to throw him back into the same hallway I just came from.
Okay, roll
12.
You grab that guy and you just heave him out the doorway. You guys see this guy fly into the room and he slams into the wall upside down, back first. Boom, and then hits the floor. Why don't you roll your damage?
2.
This person is dying, if not seriously crippled. Their body is broken on the floor. They weren't wearing any armor or anything, and they are not a soldier. What else do you guys do?
We never did Azule's defying.
Azule is still like trying to get it to shamble forward to be a threat to the people.
I would like to take a scatter shot with my gun. It says when you volley with your gun, spend an extra ammo. I have 6 ammo, so I'm going to use 4.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
Critical success.
So roll your damage.
And that is 7 points of damage. 8. And then everyone needs to check themselves for fire.
Okay, odds or evens on the fire check.
Odds.
These people are all injured, and 3 of them are on fire. And you can see them as you hit them. They're like trying to keep their weapon up. Amy, what did you do?
Rolling towards the enemy, beeping like a bomb, announcing loudly to all those around. Systems critical, self-destruct, imminent.
You're just trying to charisma them away?
Intimidate. 11.
11. Well, so they do assume you are going to explode, and the 4 guys closest to you run back further into the chamber that they're in.
Slowly rolling forward. Just beep, beep.
So 4 of them, they don't leave the battle, but they do retreat to the other side of the room and start to take up positions of cover in later hallway entrances further down.
4 ran away, 3 are on fire, 1 just got shot real bad.
And then it's their turn. In the hallway, the 3 that are on fire are going to try to put themselves out. So I'm going to roll that. I'm going to say odds, they put themselves out. I rolled a 1, 1, and a 3. So they put out, the ones that are on fire put themselves out. The 4 that were shooting Enzo, 2 of them stack up on the doorway that you entered, so you get attacked by 2 of them.
This guy here?
They're firing into the room you're in. As you threw the guy out, they post up on the door frame and open fire. So you give me 2 to fight. Spency, give me 3 from the other 2 from Enzo and the one guy that didn't put himself out. And then the guys at the other room are, I'm going to do odds or evens if they've got a shot at you or not. And so they do take cover.
I got a mix and a full.
Okay, Annie, you only need to roll 1 to fight you, as one of them has a shot on you.
Crit success.
Yeah, you're doing backflips over there. Spring that comes up and makes you like twirl out of the way.
A 10 and 10 and a what?
6.
So let's address the fail first. The big damage number will be 5. You got 1 mixed result. You take 2.
Haha.
Some of the guys in the hallway fire up at you in your alien form on the ceiling, Spency. One of the guys takes a pot shot back at Amy, but it just bounces off the armor. And one of the guys tags Enzo a little bit while they're firing through the doorway of the room he ran into. What do you guys do?
Spin my last 2 aim and take a scatter shot on the grouping that is below me, the ones that just put themselves out, and the guy that already hit. 13.
So roll the damage.
9 damage.
Those 2 dudes both fall to the floor after taking another from your gun. They fall to the floor, bleeding out. What are the other 2 doing?
I'm going to roll up to the person who's closest to me and stab him in the shin.
Okay, that's one of the guys probably that is fighting. You going to try to attack one of the injured guys that Spency's fighting, or one of the fully healed guys that's fighting at Enzo?
Injured guy. 10.
Roll your damage.
1.
You come up on this guy and you stab him in the ass as he's trying to just put fire out. He's like, oh, goddamn.
Self-destruction imminent.
He's like, what? Amidst the chaos. Enzo, what are you doing? Trying to pin you down in that room.
Are they like in the doorway? Like I can shoot back at them, right?
But they got partial cover in that doorway. They've like taken a position.
I have a gas grenade. I don't know when I got this. I don't know. It just says
We got
gas
those from the
grenade.
Institute.
It gives you a -1 to attack or so if you use it on the enemy who's trying to attack you. You got it when you guys fought the Institute guys where you ran into the Julian Club. He had that tear gas grenade that he threw at you. You guys were taking a negative and you guys had to make gas masks. You guys ended up improvising some kind of gas mask from your adventuring gear.
It happened after all the hangman.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that grenade out there, see what happens. Do I get to aim to throw it? I don't want to do that. I'm gonna use my gravity gun and throw it out, and that is gonna be a 9.
You throw it and it hits the doorway and it lands right near them at the doorway, but it's just now making a door of smoke now between the 2 rooms. You hear them start to choke on it. So then it's my turn again. 2 of those guys died, and Amy stabbed a guy in the ass. So that person's gonna attack Amy. So Amy's gonna give me 1. And then Spency, I think there you have 2 other people.
I rolled 10.
They missed, and I made it.
Okay, successes for you.
Are my guys still shooting at me, even though I thought you said they were like coughing and...
But they're going to fire at you, but you're going to get a +1 to both of those 2 to fight in. Yeah, they're impaired, but they're trained, hardened soldiers, so they're going to fight.
Awesome. So that makes this one a 10. Because I got that +1, so that's 12.
I rolled a 10.
So all successes. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to go for one of the undamaged guys and hit him directly in his trigger hand. Make him impaired to be able to fire his rifle.
So you fire a trick shot and it bounces, and that guy screams in pain and clutches at his hand and nearly drops his weapon. What is Amy doing? What is
stabbing that guy in the butt?
So stabbing, butts.
Stab the butt.
12 on butt stabbing. Roll the damage.
5. And I just retaliate and I stick my arm into the first stab hole and then I twist.
And your hand goes through, like the weapon you're stabbing with becomes inside of it, and they scream, "Ah!" And you rip back out, and they fall to the floor, bleeding out from a horrific abdomen wound.
I'm just going to shoot one of them, and hopefully I get a 12, so it gives damage to both of them. So let's do it. That's not a 12, but it's a 10, so I hit him. But that also means that I get to use all these crazy die. 8 plus 3, 11 damage to one of the guys.
You arc out a beam of energy that strikes that guy, and their face melts off as they convulse and fall to the floor at the ends of the last start. There's one guy left to fire at you, Enzo, with a plus. You get a +1. Amy's killed that person. There's 2 people left. Oh, but he fucked up his aim. So one to you as well, Spence.
One at me. All right.
Yeah.
For sure.
So Amy is out of danger?
I got a 10.
On this round, they are. What about you, Enzo?
I got an 11.
So you guys dodge these pitiful attacks. They fire at you. There was 4 guys who have lined up at the other end of the hallway who were blocking your advancement deeper into the ship. And then there is the 2 people still fighting in the hallway. One turned firing at Enzo and one turned firing at Spencer.
All right.
What do you do?
Now it's our turn?
Yeah, go ahead, Enzo.
Shoot him up. 7.
Roll your damage on this guy.
So 4 and 4. 8. Bam.
You shoot out your bolt of lightning and it hits that person and kills them. there's like another door out of this room, and that room bulkhead falls in it locked. You have to go back out into the hallway towards the other. You guys have basically cleared the floor of dudes over here. So the one guy with the injured hand starts to run towards the back of the chamber where the other 4 guys went when they thought Amy was next to him. And the guy with the gun is going to try to cover it. So I guess he's shooting at you.
That's a 7.
Half damage. So you guys go. What are you guys doing? There's guys at the end of the hall.
Let's throw in the knife at the one that's running away. 10.
One.
Roll your damage.
5.
The knife comes flying out of your compartment and strikes this person in the back as they're running for cover, about to reach their allies, and they fall face first onto the floor. You hear from the back of the room, people that have retreated, there's no use. There's more troops coming. You should surrender now while you go live.
I yell back, you should surrender now, for this gets really...
How far down are they?
Self-destruction imminent.
They're on the other side of this larger like hallway chamber. Like it opened up a little and kind of went further down, and they're over there where it gets deeper into towards docking bays and engineering, and it is deeper past where they're holding.
Can we pull into one of these rooms and regroup for a second?
So you guys duck into one of the side rooms at Enza's behest. What do you do?
Captain Pepperoni, what is your prerogative?
Okay, so this might sound fucking crazy, but what if we got the Admiral's handheld or whatever?
That construct that we made?
No, not that shit.
Oh, her body?
We could use that maybe, as that might help. But anyways, because I forgot we had that. I want to send a fake message to all the ships, but different ones to every single ship, saying that we escaped and we're on this ship, and fucking fire on this ship as much as you can, so that they're all just firing on each other crazy so we can get the fuck out of here. Pattern, or like a fight pattern.
So I have a move on a 10+. I can start a rumor that spreads like wildfire.
I mean, that sounds like that ability he's referring to would sound like you could say you were on a different ship. What you're describing is everyone's getting different information.
I could roll for every ship that there is.
It just has to make the pattern. Like which ones would... It's not that many. How many ships is it?
A lot of ship.
Fleet's worth.
How much is a fleet though? I don't know how big a fleet is.
At least more than 50.
There's a lot of ships.
So we tell the little ones to fire on the big ones to fire on the little ones. Makes it a little easier. So it's just 2 sets of... I guess we could just say it's one ship completely different, and so they're all firing on that one, and then that can make us leave. I mean, we do have the body there of, I'm assuming, the highest ranking person right now, because I'm also assuming that the other guy who was higher than her was in the cockpit, but it's a very high ranking person, so I feel if we did that. Something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys?
What if we sent out of the...
And we can still kill our way down to the fucking to the ships. We just need to have this in our back,
What if we send out a message from what's her name's comm saying that they have us in custody and to stand down? If we tell them they have us and they stand down, we fight through the couple people that are right here in this hallway, and we move down, get out of here as soon as we grab a ship.
What do you think, Amy?
Eject an escape pod and say that we're on it. Distract them and then be like, target neutralized, and then we take over the ship.
To get to a fucking docking bay so we can get the hell out of here. I think we have to find some way right before we get on the ship to turn the oxygen off on the ship and kill everybody. Death to the CD.
What if we send a message out saying that one of the other bigger ships has defected?
All right, let's go. We got a plan. So we're going out there. We're killing these guys. When we get down there, start a rumor. I'll shut off the oxygen, have them kill the other ships, and we get the fuck out of here.
So Amy's going to use the Colonel Hendricks construct that we made from her likeness and from her
I'm so glad we
file.
made that.
Yeah.
It just came in handy at the very end.
Is that still on the ship? It's an AI personality.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. And I'll roll my rumor move 3 times to send out to 3 different sections of the fleet. Try to get them to fire on themselves.
Okay, you're going to do it right now, or are you going to do it at an opportune time?
I think we should make our way down to the cockpit first before we can kill everyone right now just with the oxygen thing. I'll fix my suit. Spencer, we can probably find something to fix Spencer.
Let me roll to see if I can find something to fix my suit. That's a 12.
Okay, so you start ripping apart the armor of the person you looted. You guys basically use what you got to patch up the holes in your suit. You weren't shot that many times. Shouldn't be too hard. So you guys patch up your suits and you're trying to hack the oxygen in this whole ship?
Nah, dude, let's just do the whole ship. Some people are going to be prepared. Catch a couple people off guard.
12. Okay, you would immediately start evacuating oxygen from the whole ship. And it's a big ship, so it's not like an instant oxygen levels are starting to drop evenly across the whole ship.
Let's go.
So do you guys guys go back out in the hallway?
Can I take a shot from cover at those guys, or are they kind of far?
They're kind of far. You kind of got to get out there.
I would like to sneakily move to a corner of that doorway to get cover and get peek on them.
Can I go invisible?
Oh, yeah. You can do that.
I got a 7, and on the mixed results, I have to choose one of the things. You're only invisible when you aren't moving. You are spotted before you turn invisible, or something else betrays your presence. You take a -1 ongoing to casting magic until you're able to rest. I guess something else betrays my presence? No, I don't want to do that. Fuck.
I got a good one for that.
Do you? Well, let's do it. Let's see what's up.
All right.
It's the last game. Let's have some fun.
You believe yourself to be invisible. And as you step out in the hallway and Spency's sneaking along the wall to try to get as close as he can to peep what's going on, you know Enzo walks by because there are bloody footprints appearing from the bottom of the soles of his boots from the carnage you guys have already caused. And those bloody footprints walk out towards the enemy. Emmy, what are you doing? One turns invisible, one goes slinking down the hall.
So are there shadows?
Sure.
Then I can blend in with them.
Oh, it's like a power.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're just right behind Spency, just in his shadow.
Yeah.
That he creates as he's sneaking along the wall. So you sneak down to the edge and you look down and you see the 4 guys are all stacked up in the hallway with guns trained down. What are you guys trying to do here?
I'm going to shoot the one in the middle, or one of the guys in the middle. Hopefully I can get a couple of them around me. Get that 12. I want to finally fucking use this cool power. 11.
Can I roll aid to see if I get it for him?
Well, how are you aiding?
My alien arm is just gonna latch out and steady his arm for him.
Well, you can't see his arm. You can see his bloody footprints because he is invisible except for the bloody footprints.
I'm gonna jump out and get ready to attack, and then after his attack, and then make that bang the wall and have them jump up and fire at me.
Roll your aid.
Fuck yeah, that's 10.
So you got a 12 then. They're all stacked up in a hallway, so I'm pretty sure.
When you make a roll using your bonded weapon while infused with an element, on a 12+, you blast all nearby enemies away with your elemental force, dealing your damage to all enemies within range.
Roll that. That means you could kill them all, right? If you were like a 15, they all take 15 damage.
But I only got a 4 on my 2 6s, so that doesn't help. So 6 on all of them.
They all get messed up, and they're all pretty injured. And the Spency pops out, and you're leaving bloody footprints that just fired an arc. So they are going to fire back at you guys. Spency and Enzo roll 2 defy dangers each.
10 and a 8.
Mixed. Enzo?
I got a fail and a mixed.
On the mixed, Spency takes 1 damage, and Enzo's mixed is 3 damage, and Enzo's fail is 6 damage.
Trying to kill me over here.
Since they're all damaged, would like to use my alien arm shot.
Okay, see how many of them you can skewer at once?
Like, take those shots, give them like a deep, dark look up and go, come on, boys, you gotta try harder than that.
Yeah, roll to stab them.
Well,
okay, so you lunge forward and skewer 2 of the guys on the side of the hallway and smash the other 2. I'll just say you kill all 4 of them because they're all basically dead now. No, it's fine. You stroll in and you just pierce through 2 of them and slaughter the other 4. Everyone in this hallway is dead. And you guys have like a downbeat in this hallway. You're just covered in blood.
Actually, I'm going to instantly allow Butcher to feed on one of the bodies.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Before I forget, I'm going to go back and get whatever I can get off of.
All right, roll wisdom for Colonel Hendrick's body.
Hey, Amy, can you go get something off of Colonel Hendrick's body?
Just pick in everyone's pocket to see what's shiny. 11.
She got the shit electrocuted out of it. So you find her communication device, but it is damaged. And then she has a gun. She has a gun that's nice. She probably has a nice gun, like it's a armor piercing. And everything else is roasted, like a marshmallow you held over the fire for too long.
Is there a way I can just switch the SIM card from her device into a different device?
Yeah. You gotta pry that burnt, melted plastic apart to get to the inside. So you would have to stop and work on it if you wanted to. You could do that. Do you want to do that?
You gotta give a little time for everyone to suffocate, right? Because I feel like having her handheld device will help with the rumor.
Yeah.
So you can spend time where you guys kind of take a downbeat and wait for Enzo to take this stuff apart, and you can roll intelligence to try to recover something from her.
I'm gonna spend a hold from my network and ask where the next ambush is, if there is one. Or the question is there a trap or ambush here? And if so, where?
You get a bing back, an overview of the schematics and what point of the ship would most likely be an ambush point. And there is like a bottle deck. One way takes you to the docking bays and one way takes you to main engineering. And that's a really crucial hallway if you were trying to hold a ship from a mutiny or something. And that is the most obvious point for them to have set up to counter.
Okay, so we're in the hallway right now. Those guys just died. We can go forward. What's around us? More rooms?
Yeah, there are a bunch of little small rooms, like a captain's ready room and a little like, officer's meeting room and maybe like a little tactical office where you would have information being processed or something. It's all stuff to support the bridge crew. There's probably a little kitchenette in one of them where there's like a food replicator and like a microwave and a comfy chair to sit in, corporate slogans on the wall. Are you taking the time to work on this thing?
I'm trying to second guess it because I also think that maybe I should just take this time to heal you guys instead, because I think that'll be better for in the short term than trying to open this thing. You know, who's hurt more?
I'm missing 9 health.
So let me try Amy first. That is a 7, so it's a mix. That means I have to give up my life.
You choose how many HP you want to handle.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Amy. I'll give you 1.
I'm bandage up the captain. All right, Cap, you're gonna be all right. Don't worry about it. I got you.
12.
Nice.
So
roll your heal.
Roll my heal, and it is 5. Since we're in here, can I try again for Amy, please?
You can, but then I'm doing something.
Okay.
So as you finish healing Amy, you hear footsteps, and you look to the threshold, and in steps Maria, and she walks over to you, Enzo, and you look at her. She walks over to you, Enzo, and you see her face, and it's just a world of difference from when you first started at the old gang spot back on Gamma. And she is a grizzled, pale spacer. And she looks at you and says, when the fuck is it enough, huh?
Hey, Maria, when did you get here?
When is it enough, Enzo?
Are you here to party?
Listen, we're just trying to make a living, right?
Trying to make a living? All you do is rampage and murder people. You're not even functional criminals.
Tired of this shit. Maria, you have a choice right fucking now. Get out of our faces. You're not our mother. Save your own life and get out of the way.
She smiles as she looks over at you, Spency, and she pulls open her jacket. She's strapped with explosives. I've already made my decision. And you freak, you're not getting out of here alive.
This is how we're going to die for Maria?
So you can try to grab Maria. Why don't we do this? Everybody sees this moment of Maria's doing a bump. We're all going to roll. And we're going to do an initiative style. So I'll roll for Maria, and you all 3 roll, and it's going to be one of those, and we all dive for the bomb.
Natural 10.
Natural 9.
What did you get?
Got an 11.
So did Maria. You envelop her as she hits the detonator, as the butcher expands your body and grabs around her, and she explodes. I'm going to say because Spancy has jumped on this grenade so wholeheartedly that the 2 of you can make defy danger rolls. And if you full success, I will give you a reduced damage. But Spancy's going to get it hardcore.
Amy's just going to coil up into a little box, and as she's pulling the cord, you hear detonation. The 12.
Nice.
I got an 11.
Okay, you guys will both take half of the explosion damage.
Oh. Maria, dude, that's how you're going to do us?
This is my arc, man. This is my arc. I was evil, and everyone believed I was evil, but I still had good in my heart.
15 points of damage.
Yeah, I'm at 2 right now.
And so you guys take half. It explodes. Boom! This whole chamber gets lit up with a bright flash and then covered in smoke, and you're all thrown apart. And you're like partly flayed apart by the explosion because you were expanding in like butcher mode before it hit. And you're all thrown to the ground, choking on the ash. What do you do?
I hate women. And just start coughing up blood.
Detonation detected.
Okay, first things first. Gotta make sure Spency doesn't die. So, a little healing. I can give you 1, dude. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I think you like reach out that connection when you feel the nanites get crazy. You're always like, no. just immediately, so that they only get a little bit. And you're like, sorry, they're fucking pissy right now.
Okay, what's the plan now? Well, let's keep going then.
Moving deeper in, you know, Amy, that you're going to be approaching that choke point soon, that you did some research on. Most likely point to be where they might be trying to hold the ship from attackers.
Captain Pepperoni, according to calculations, ambush 99% positive in this location.
So, Azule Reggie's been with us this whole time, right?
He's only walking down the hallway.
The smoke clears from the explosion and he's just walking out.
Azule's got some really good survival instincts. He's not good at moving around, but when his life's in danger. Yeah, I assume he's just like Mr. Magooing out there, just like almost dying every 10 seconds. But, well, now he's going to really die because I think we should just send him into that little chokehold and see what happens.
So you're going to send Azule in while Spency's stealthing. What's Amy going to do?
I'll roll up behind Reggie.
Okay.
So let's let Reggie go in there first, and then we'll come up behind.
You slowly ahead plots Reggie being puppeted as the Azule, and it comes to that corridor where you can go turn one way and go to the docking bay and turn the other way and go to engineering. And you're all kind of peering down behind Azule, and he kind of gets to the intersection, stops, kind of shuffles around, a sort of look one way and kind of look the other way, and then looks back at you guys and is awkwardly gesturing. And then at that moment, a giant space storage crate comes flying from the port side of that hallway, and it slams into Reggie and smashes him and Azule into the ground. And you hear and around comes the corner a big mechanized suit with giant arms and heavy armor, and steps into the room.
Alien type or like Avatar?
It's not super huge, but more than just an exoskeleton. And you look inside the face cockpit, and it's Giuseppe. And Giuseppe says,
"Fuck up! God damn it!
Giuseppe says,
we gave him a half a wealth each, dude. And said, go on your
Enzo,
way."
Enzo, it's over. The Admiral gave me this suit to stop you. We told him everything. We told him everything. We had to. We had to make it right. This isn't what Max Grenade would have wanted. You're only dooming yourselves. Enzo, please, surrender.
Max Grenade is the one who hired that no good rat. I spit on the floor.
Julian's dead. He's dead now.
Soon you will be too. I fucking shoot that motherfucker with my lightning gun thingamabob. It's a 7. I'll just do a minus to my damage. It's a 1.
You got 1 damage?
1 damage is what I gave.
So it fires and it just arcs off his armor, and he says, "You can't stop me, Enzo. It's over." And he picks up the container and he heaves it at you. Roll a defy danger. Mixed result. So you dodge out of the way of the container, but it smashes open. This liquidy oil just covers you and covers the floor.
Do I take damage from the oil?
No, but you're covered in it, and the floor's covered in it, and you're super slippery right now. What's up with you guys?
I'll take 3 shots, and let me shoot the cockpit where he's at. I'm assuming the way the legs work, it's like a levering action thing where there's a bolt where it all works from and levers. I want to cripple his knees. That's 13.
Nice. Roll your damage.
That is an 8.
You fire, blah, 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 and you hear him go, "Ah!" as his mech armor falls to its knees because it can't hold the weight.
You were always weak, Giuseppe. I knew it.
"You're a monster. You're a monster, Spency." He pulls out, his arm pops out like a chain gun, and he burst fires it back in your direction. Roll defy danger.
That is a 9.
Mixed result. I'm going to give you the half damage. 3.
Sorry, I am at 1 health.
Amy, your turn.
I'm going to roll up and try to get as close to Giuseppe as possible. Hello, Giuseppe. How are you? Long time no see. Are you here to party?
This robot's only gotten crazier since you got him off that station.
You just missed Maria. I'll stand in defense of Spencer.
He's pissed at all of you. He's going to try to just smack you aside. Like he's going to bring down his giant robot arm and try to just knock you aside. Roll defy danger for that. And roll in defense too, so you get your hold.
For defense, that's a 13. And defy danger, that is also a 13.
So he slams into you, and you just like a dead weight. Yeah. You stop his arm, and he's like annoyed that he couldn't push you over. All right, Enzo.
I got a 10.
To hit him with your gun, you fire out a bolt of lightning. What damage do you do? 2,
and the other one 4.
6 damage. So you blast out lightning again. He looks over at you, Enzo, and he's like, it didn't have to be like this. We could have just gone to Earth. We could have just seen my mom. And he ignites his flamethrower on his other arm, Enzo, and blasts it at the oil running down the deck. And the flames start to spread towards you.
Am I covered in oil?
Yes. And then we cut to Spency. What do you want to do?
I would like to leap onto the face of him. So if he tries to hit me, he's smacking himself in the face too.
Okay, you leap up, volt off Amy, and you leap onto across the visor of the screen. He is going to try to smack himself in the face to hit you. Roll a defy danger.
Critical success.
So you crawl up a little bit as he conks himself in the head face, and he's going to deal himself some damage.
Hey, why are you hitting yourself?
I'm going to go to his ankles and just start slashing at hydraulics and cables.
Roll.
4 damage.
4 damage. You go back and you find a cable and you slice it open, and hydraulic fluid starts falling out of his hip area. He's going to swing around at you, Amy. The torso turns around, and he's going to try to grab you and throw you. So roll defy danger.
I'll let him grab me, but then I'll activate my magnetic treads so he can't pick me up.
So he grabs you, and it's like you're stuck to the floor, and he's frustrated. Ah! And as he flexes, you see more hydraulic fluid pump out of the system at a greater rate. Enzo, you got to deal with this fire situation. It's near him. It was running down, a trail of it running down towards him, and he pulled out his flamethrower and shot it maybe a few yards away. And then that flame is running up to you and the whole part of the room that's covered in oil, which is about to all be engulfed in flame.
So I might still kill me, but can I just push with my gravity gun? Can I kind of make a wave of oil and push it towards him?
I love this because it's going to hit everybody. And you're probably still going to catch on fire, yeah. But roll.
So I got a 10.
You roll a 10. So you flex the gravity around you and lift up all this oil that's around, standing and pulling in front of you, creating a rush of it down the hall over the burning oil, which turns it into a fireball, which then slams into Giuseppe Bot. You're on top of it there, Spency, so I'll let you make a normal defy danger. You have to leap off of it to not be hit by this fireball.
I'm going to leap onto the ceiling far enough away that I can still arm him, but far enough away that I'm not getting burned.
Roll.
That is a 10.
Okay, so you leap off him and grab up into the beams on the top. Amy, your situation's a little bit shittier. He's holding you, and you're holding him down. You're basically in a grapple. If you want to get out of this with a defy danger, you're going to take a -1.
Yeah, I'm going to deploy thermal shields. All powers to liquid cooling system. It's a 9.
So you are on fire, and you're going to take a little trickling fire damage that you don't get your armor on. So I'm just going to roll a d4. You get 3 points of damage. And Giuseppe is also taking that, but on a bigger scale. So he also took a bunch of damage. And you see it's not looking good now. Back over to Enzo. You shot this. You created this mystification in front of you of the oil that hit the fire, created that fireball. And now this backdrop flames upon you and blasts you with fire and lights this whole side of the room on fire. Okay. That's going much faster now that there's a big fire, which just got a lot bigger. But you are getting burned. 4 damage from fire.
I'm going to load a sleep dart into my gun, try and shoot it through the glass and hit Giuseppe. That's a 12.
So the sleep dart hits him inside the cockpit. He's like, what? What is? He's fighting the fire and freaking out, and then he starts to get sluggish. You can see it in the robot start moving more sluggishly and starts to slump over.
And then I just yell out, "Get to the dog bay now!" And I want to try and Spider-Man swing over the roof past him.
Tammy, what do you want to do?
I'm going to try to slip out of his grip as I feel it kind of laxing. I'll back up and then use my magnetic treads on the wall, and then I'll go up the side of the wall until his grip drops.
He's just and you're wheeling away. Are you just going to let the fire burn for this turn then?
I've never been on fire before. I don't know how to take care of it.
Take 4 fire damage. Enzo, you're on fire too.
Can I use my gravity gun just to blast all the goo off of me and fire off me?
Squeegee it off yourself with the gravity gun and throw flaming oil off your body. You take 1 damage.
I'm trying to just head towards the docking bay.
Put the fire out.
Okay, he's going to the docking bay. Amy, you're still on fire. What do you want to do? I guess we kind of got to keep turn order. So what does Amy want to do?
I'm going to roll to the ceiling so I'm upside down and try to get all the oil to drip off of my body. Crit fail.
So you get up to the roof, and then your entire weight of yourself comes down upon yourself. You take 4.
Odds or evens to find out whether Commander Cliff installed a bomb inside Amy or not.
You want me to say odds or evens?
Yeah, pick.
Or you want
pick.
me to roll it?
No, pick it. It's your time. It's your turn.
I see. I'll take evens, but which answer am I? Am I
Is this what
bomb or
we
no
did?
bomb? My answer should be bomb.
I rolled a 2 and Amy explodes.
Oh my god.
Enzo's definitely still in the room.
And it's still on fire. Like there's still more. Oh my gosh.
So,
Okay.
Enzo, roll a defy danger.
Nice.
So you're gonna get burned up as you're like, oh fuck! And Amy just explodes as she hits the ground. 3 damage. Amy's shrapnel. And you look over and it's just a pile of burning parts.
Am I in eye shot to see this?
I mean, you were swinging away, you would have heard a boom
I
behind
got
you.
4 left, guys. I'm hit. Amy's gone. I got 4. Spency's on 1. Let's do it.
So
All
you
right.
guys push in towards the docking bay. You open the door into the docking bay, and at this point, the oxygen levels have started to die down pretty heavily. You're starting to see people in the hallways that didn't have vacs slunked over. And you guys enter the main docking bay, and there's some fighters parked, and on the other side, there's like a small transport ship. But there's someone there waiting for you. And you don't really see their face, and they take a couple of steps forward, and they again have the face of your old friend.
Is another Julian?
Yeah.
Hey, if it ain't Spency.
It's time to Hulk out, Spence.
God damn asshole.
Imagine
I-
finding you in these neck of the woods.
I
Yogi
lunge at
Bear.
him. I'm just diving at him and spearing him straight through the chest.
Oh, you roll an attack roll.
Hey, was it something I said?
That's a 10.
Roll your damage.
So here's what happens. I dash across the room and just spear him. And like an anime, from the side profile, it cuts to all black and white. You just see the side profile silhouette of me just spearing him. And you just hear me go, I trusted you. And just rip it back out and spit in his face.
This Julian version of him falls to the floor and then steps out from the shadows of another ship, and you look up and another one steps forward, and they all have the face of Julian.
Hey, come on, Spence. I thought we were friends.
And one of them pulls up a gun and takes a shot at you. You both need to roll Defy Danger.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
So you guys both
Gary.
are able to dodge the gunfire from the Julians. What do you want to do?
I have no control, so I'm killing him.
You're going to attack roll to attack the next one.
Oh, I have 2 ammo left. Let me try and scattershot spear both of them. I'm just screaming out the whole time. No. I'm angry.
You wouldn't spear another space dragon now, would you?
A9. And yeah,
That's a mixed result.
I'm dead.
So you spear through 2 Julians, and a third one walks out and shoots you again in the back of the head like the first time.
You were always a little street punk.
Enzo, you see Spency fall to the floor, unconscious. And another Julian is staring you down.
Hey, Enzo. Or is
I'm
it
gonna-
Captain now?
I'm gonna bounce my way out of the room the same way we came in. As far as
You're going to retreat. You turn and run and use your gravity power to shoot you through the doorway to get away from the Julian clones. What is your plan?
I want to go to engineering.
You run back past the fight where the fire is choked out as the oxygen has left most of the ship, and you go into engineering. What is your intention?
If I'm going out, let's go out. I'm gonna blow this motherfucker up. I want to
Okay.
make the biggest explosion I can and try to take out all these guys that are surrounding.
Roll intelligence.
Julian's gonna call Enzo over his comms.
That's a
You-
6.
Hey, Enzo, my friend, my partner. You could join the Constellation Directorate. You could be just like me. We'll live forever. I'm practically immortal. Come on, what do you say?
No.
You get into engineering and you come around the corner to the console that you need, and there's a Julian already standing there with his gun out.
You always were a stubborn one, eh, Enzo?
Roll Defy Danger as he shoots his gun at you.
9.
4 damage.
I'm down. I'm dead. I'm at 20. I have 20. Yeah.
So you get shot and you start to keel over and slide down the side of this engineering compartment. As you're looking up at the face of Julia, you slip onto unconsciousness.
We are the space dragons. No more.
I would like you both to roll the death roll in the game. All three of you will do this. Fancy, you have died once before, so you'll do it at a -1, and you're just rolling 2d6 to see if you come back, and if there's an opportunity for us to come back, which was just going to be the epilogue. Straight up roll, yeah. Unless you've died before. 8's a mixed result. Okay.
9.
Okay.
I rolled an 11.
He's in the network.
Ammy's out there. Dude.
So Amy is straight up on the internet, taking its AI to new places, like analyzing what happened to it and making opinions. So think about that for a second. So, like, what you think an epilogue for Amy is.
Amy makes backups every hour.
And then Spency's body is basically torn apart and studied for science, but you end up, some of the butcher lives on in this super soldier program that is being created out of basically what Enzo did with your genome and the monster genome to make Spency's.
So I ended up helping him?
This technology gets used by the CD.
Can I do a quick internal death scene with Butcher? What the? No, you failed me. You did not bring enough pain and suffering. Therefore, I took your life. I will find somebody else to do it for me. Weakling.
And then, Enzo, you wake up all fucked up, strapped down to a table, and you realize you're in an institute lab, and there's a crazed scientist there who is using what he's learned from you to make crazy body modifications. And it's horrific.
Am I being experimented on? That seems like a waste. I invented the super soldiers. Like, they should put me in, tie me up. Didn't they learn anything?
You start mouthing off, and he turns you, and he says, "You're not an original." And he turns you, and there was a whole bunch of Enzo clones on tables next to it.
Oh no, I'm in the Matrix now.
Just doing some testing, and he injects you in the neck with something, and you fall.
Well, that's
and
great.
I'm in every super soldier clone now.
Yeah,
Just a little part of me.
A little bit of your consciousness.
Creatures that the ones you put in me, they completely mold with the person, including their mind and
so
spirit.
There's gonna be a butcher uprising from the clones.
Probably.
So, Amy, what is Amy's life like after they become the clown?
My consciousness, like in the blast, kind of sent out like a death signal as I died, but part of that got mixed with Colonel Hendrix's AI, and so now I have the personality of Colonel Hendrix. And my last directive from Enzo was to send out all those messages. No matter what the CD does, they can't scrub me out of their system because I'm just like sending out false messages that seem real and just a giant troll in the sky.
You're a real ghost in the shell shit going on.
The ultimate gremlin.
I like the idea of you having Colonel Hendrix like personality or like all the memories.
All of her memories and achievements, and
you're saying it's molding with you, so you guys became one. So it's just Colonel Hendrix as a AI.
It's still Amy. It's still Amy.
You hear Colonel Hendrix's voice going, "I want to bar D."
But you still have, so like, it's Colonel Hendrix's like strategic like mind and all that shit.
Yeah,
you can probably get a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah,
done.
just like super. Like I know everything about the CD, and I'm jacked into the network, and I'm just constructing like a robot body for myself to live on again another day, and still running things from the shadows but with no real purpose. It could be a very dangerous thing,
bro. Like, you should know about us. You're in the cloud.
Maybe I am doing something about it.
So this is perfect seating for some future game in this universe, and they get like a benevolent computer named Colonel Hendrix is like the bestowing them orders.
That's
As
funny.
a bunch of fucking Enzo clones come at them with
and a bunch of alien super soldiers now.
Yeah.
All right, good game. That last game, that was so ridiculous.
I like to imagine it. The final shot ends with it's a shot of the old Max Grenade office, and there's a box being delivered, and it's the drone.
It's the drone. That's the last.
There's the one blue jacket left on Gamma.
Dude, he probably
he's like super successul now. He's got his own little crew going. But yeah, this mafia stuff is easy.
What's those crazy psychopaths left? It's pretty
Cool. Well, thanks, guys. That was actually ended up being a pretty good conclusionary episode to a crazy ass campaign. So thanks for playing.